Are you ready to rumble? Today, we are going to find out which of these 3 bear sprays is the best one. Hey, today we are going to learn how to use bear spray. I am just a normal woman, never used it before, and in fact, I'm terrified of using bear spray. But after doing all my research about national parks, plenty of them have bears, and they all recommend carrying bear spray with you if you are going on a backcountry trail. And so I wanted to do this video, first of all, to find out, just know how to use it, because when you're in an emergency situation, you don't learn to use a parachute when you're jumping out of a plane. You practice before you're jumping out of that plane. Same thing with bear spray. We're going to learn the ins and outs of using bear spray today, and we're also going to determine which is the best one. I've purchased 3 different kinds. We're going to test them out, see which one sprays the furthest, the longest, creates the biggest cloud of fog, and then I'll let you know which is the best one for you to get. So today, let's just get started. Who needs bear spray? Anyone going on a backcountry trail? Okay, if there's bears around, you need bear spray just as an extra precaution. I'm not saying throw all caution to the wind. We have, we know to stay 100 yards away from bears. We know to hike in groups, and we know to not carry smelly things around with us like food. We store our food properly when we're in those national parks or places where there are bear and other wild animals. So you're going to want to do that. Where can you buy bear spray? I purchased the ones I'm going to use on Amazon. They sell them at the national parks. They sell them at gas stations near national parks, and they'll sell them at sporting goods stores. In fact, I have an entire other video, 20 questions about bear spray. Watch that if you want a more in-depth thing. But today it's all about the how-to using it and which is the best kind. Okay, next, I want to talk to you just a little bit about what bear spray does and how it works. Bear spray is in an aerosol can. I've got one of mine right with me right here. Here's one of the brands I'm going to try. It's in an aerosol can, and it is pressurized, although it doesn't say you need to shake it up like you would a can of air freshener. But it does come in a can like this. It has a safety clip to prevent accidental detonation. And the thing is that you do not want to get this on yourself. Like, if you look around me, there is no wind at all around. After reading about bear spray and researching it, I am kind of terrified, because this is stuff designed to take down an angry bear, okay? To get them to turn around and run away from you. It is full of something called capsaicin, which is really nasty, peppery stuff that will irritate the bear's eyes, throat, nose, skin. And so, if it will bother a bear, it's really going to bother a human. So you want to be incredibly careful when you use bear spray. The other thing is, today I actually have 3 legitimate cans of bear spray I'm testing out. But if you wanted to practice, you can actually order practice bear spray. So I recommend that, just because this is new. In fact, the first time I got this out, I was holding it the wrong direction, and I wanted to make sure that you know what to do. So let's go ahead and get started. I want to show you just a little bit about it. The first thing is, you want to have a holster. Okay, you don't want this to be in a backpack where you have to pull it out and have to fiddle around with it. Most of the time when people come across bears, it's a surprise thing. Bears don't normally stalk people. It's more you're hiking and you surprise the bear, and it's surprised by you. You're both surprised, and that's where a problem can happen. So you want to make sure it is handy. The 3 types of bear spray that I purchased are all designed to be used with one hand. So your other hand could be free, but they're designed for you to have one hand only. Okay, so I wanted to show you how to remove this clip. Okay, so a few of them have the special feature of a glow-in-the-dark clip, so if it's dark, you'll be able to find it. But you just, let's see here, yep, you just pull it off like that. That's it. Okay, one more time. Okay, so just right there. Okay, see it? Okay, so you're just gonna, just like that. That simple. Okay, all right, so I'm going to go ahead, and we are going to, I also wanted to show you my test model, my volunteer. Okay, this is Jerry. He's our poor bear that's volunteered to be sprayed by bear spray. Okay, and I also wanted to show you on cute Jerry's face exactly where you're wanting to spray this bear spray. Okay, if a bear is coming at you, you're going to want to aim low. You're going to want to aim at his nose and his eyes, because that's where it's going to hurt the most. So that's where you're aiming. So I'm sorry, Jerry. You are so cute, but we are going to spray you today. All right, you guys ready? Let's go try this out. let me give you the quick breakdown of our 3 contenders. Number 1, counter assault. This was our most expensive one at almost $45. 8.1 ounces, can spray 32 feet for 7 seconds. And bragging 2% capsaicin, which is the nasty stuff that bears hate. So that's the highest dose they'll let you go. This is the only type they'll sell at Grand Teton National Park. I don't know if this is because it's the best or if it's because it's environmentally friendly. It also came included with the holster, which will be handy. Other pros are it was developed by the University of Montana, the Grizzlies, and it works on all bear species. So, contender number 1. Contender number 2 is the Frontiersman. This one has the largest size. It's 9 ounces. It can spray this one will spray 35 feet. Came with the holster, has a special glow-in-the-dark clip in case you're in the dark. And this one claims it will spray for 5 seconds. I would say the pros to this one is it is the largest size. It also has the highest capsaicin. The con is it only will spray for 5 seconds. We're going to see how it goes. Lastly, we have Guard Alaska for contender number 3. Guard Alaska was by far the cheapest one at $35. I guess it wasn't too much less than the Frontiersman. But this is the 9 ounce. It will spray 15 to 20 feet for 9 seconds, so the longest spray. And it has 1.34% capsaicin. I would say this looks okay. This one was one I didn't order on Amazon. I just picked up at my local sporting goods store. I would say one downside to this, well, I can think of two cons to this, is first of all, on here it says bear repellent. This is not bear repellent. You don't spray it like mosquito spray. It's not going to keep bears away. This is a deterrent. If a bear comes charging at you, it'll make it want to run away, but it does not work the same as like mosquito repellent does. So the mislabeling on this makes me worry just a little bit. The other thing that makes me worry about this is this one shoots half as far away as the other 2 do. And I know that I'd want that bear as far away from me as possible. I'd like to spray that thing from the furthest distance possible. So there we have it. We have our 3 contenders. And just to make my hypothesis, if we're going to be scientific about this, is my hypothesis is I'm going with the counter assault based on the specs. We'll see. I know that in the woods you are not going to be gearing up, but this is seriously dangerous stuff, so I'm going to wear safety goggles, gloves, and a mask just to protect myself. So our first one is Guard Alaska. It says that it can spray 15 to 20 feet. So that's what we're going to do. We've got it measured out. We've got Jerry back there. We're going to see if it actually fits the bill. Okay, that stuff was nasty. I mean, we did it the right way. There was no wind. And seriously, our eyes are burning. This is nasty, nasty stuff. So, these next couple, I'm going to try the counter assault, which is, I think, a 32 foot and 7 second spray. We're going to give it a try and see if it lasts that long. And I'm holding my breath when I do it. I'm backing away as quick as I can because this stuff is gross. We are dying. This stuff is so awful. Like, we're coughing, our eyes are watering. It is really, really, really bad. Like, this is powerful stuff. You would definitely want to be safe spraying this and not it yourself.
Oh, you can feel it getting into your throat and eyes.
Ugh.
We weren't even, I mean, we went pretty much running the other direction.
Like, we'd hold our breath and spray it. It is so gross. All right. Our third one is the frontiersman. Okay, this is the one that's supposed to spray the furthest, but has the shortest time. This one's only supposed to last for 5 seconds. And once again, oh my goodness, I cannot believe how powerful this stuff is. My nose is still burning. Okay. The results are in. We know what kind of bear spray we're buying to replace our stash we just burned through. But before we get started, we wanted to let you know and tell you like what kind we're going to buy. We wanted to let you know that all the trigger systems were equally easy to use. The clip was real easy to take off. They were definitely one-hand releases, so no big deal there. All equal across the board with all 3 types we tried.
The holsters, 2 of them came with a holster, and only Guard Alaska did not come with a holster. So that's something you'd want to consider. You want quick access to the bear spray if you were on a hike. So you need a holster. If you're going to buy Guard Alaska, you're going to have to also buy a holster.
And I like that the frontiersman had a Velcro flap over the top of it, because I would hate to accidentally detonate a bear spray while I'm just walking around, and that flap I feel like would definitely prevent that. I'm not saying that it would happen if you didn't have it, but I felt more secure that way.
Now, one of the things we were interested in is whether their claims were accurate. So they claimed to shoot a certain amount of time and a certain distance. As far as the distance results, they were mostly accurate. The frontiersman and the counter assault claimed to spray farther than the Guard Alaska. They claimed to spray around 30 to 35 feet. We're not sure they made it that far unless you count some kind of just like as the cloud dissipates and it kind of floats that way, maybe a little bit. But we noticed that they all had a fairly strong shoot for about the first 15 feet. And then after that, the cloud kind of dissipates. But the frontiersman and the counter assault definitely had a bigger cloud moving forward. We estimate it to be around 25 feet.
Yeah, and that was kind of one of the surprises, is that all the cans will advertise how far it'll spray, but I was surprised to see that the counter assault and the frontiersman had a wider, it was just the spray went out further as well, so it was not just the distance, but the width.
So we were total nerds. We kind of scrubbed through the video and watched it over and over again. The other thing that was surprising is the frontiersman claimed to only shoot for 5 seconds, and it actually had the longest shoot time of all of them, at about 7.5 seconds. So the other 2 were at about 6.5 seconds. Not a huge difference, except that 1 second is kind of big when you're only measuring 6 or 7 seconds. But the point here is that, again, they all spray pretty consistent for the first 15 feet, and that's why all the bear attack strategies recommend you wait until the bear is about 15 feet away before you gas it.
Yes, and I wanted to say that on that video, it's really hard to capture the essence of how powerful that bear spray is. It doesn't really look like that much coming out of the can, but I can assure you that the entire area where that is sprayed is pretty toxic. Everything on you burns and hurts, and it lasts a long time. It took us, if you watch the video, you can see like the last one we tried, the frontiersman, it was darker. Like we were scared to lose daylight, but we couldn't shoot it before then because we were coughing. We couldn't pull it together. That it had gotten in our lungs and it was horrible. And so, if you ever do have to use bear spray and you have your wits about you enough, like don't breathe in while you're spraying that, even if it's spraying the other direction. Like you spray and you run because you don't want any of that to get in you. I mean, even that night we were showering off and we could feel the bear spray burning our skin. And I mean, Matt even called the cops on us.
So it was a little embarrassing. But we didn't want anybody else to come into that area and get gassed after we left. So, but the point, just because one sprays longer or farther, we're really not sure whether that means it's more effective. You'd think so, I guess, but obviously we can't test it on a real bear. So.
Yeah. So long story short is, you spray bear spray, that air around you is going to smell horrible, and I'm not even doing it justice with my words.
It was rough. It was rough. Okay, so let's get to our recommendation here. After looking at our little tests and their claims and the distances and all that, and the costs, we recommend the frontiersman because it was the cheapest, and it came with a holster, and it sprayed longer and farther. So it sprayed for a longer period of time, and it sprayed farther than all of the other ones. Counter assault does claim to be environmentally friendly with the ozone, but I'm
Although
not sure if the
they
other
all
ones are
felt
not.
toxic to me, but
Yeah, and counter assaults maybe for that reason is the only one that they sell at Grand Teton National Park. I'm not sure about the other national parks, but uh, anyway, look, Frontiersman's $10 cheaper, and it sprayed longer and farther. I don't see really what the drawback would be there.
and I was
Getting
gonna just
Frontiersman.
throw in an extra little tip. So, when we ordered our bear spray in the summer, it was about $5 more than it is right now in October. So if you already know you're going, buy it in the off season and save yourself a few bucks.
Okay, so again, in summary, our recommendation is the Frontiersman because it's cheaper and it sprays just as far as the others, and it sprays for longer period of time. We do have an article with all this information on it on our website, so we'll put a link in the description to that. A couple more things we want to go over.
Okay, proper disposal of your bear spray. I think a lot of times people will buy things like this and then they'll just forget about it. But number one, bear spray does not last forever. It expires after 3 to 4 years. So when you finish, like when you're done on your adventure, you're most likely going to have a can of full bear spray because you're not going to use it, hopefully. And so you have a couple of options. The national parks have a way to, like, you could give it to a visitor center at a national park and they can recycle it. The other idea is to call your local waste management. That's probably the best idea. They have every area has a different way of dealing with these toxic chemicals, but they'll have a way to take care of that for you. You don't want to just throw that in the garbage can or leave it laying around your house because bear spray will eventually lose its charge, its ability to squirt that bear spray out. So you don't want to be taking a can of 20-year-old bear spray out with you and count on it for protection. But you also don't want to throw it in the garbage can and have a bulldozer run over to the landfill and create a toxic disaster, because it has happened where they've had to shut plants down for a day because that stuff really is pretty rough on the lungs. So yeah, call local waste management and get rid of it. And then if you're storing it for another adventure, make sure you're storing it like a firearm or hazardous waste. You would not want a child getting into it. So there's our tips and our recommendations on bear spray. Thanks for watching and safe travels.